So this altcoin has a huge catalyst coming up in January, which could have huge ramifications not just for the price, but for actual adoption of this layer 1 crypto. We have a huge January coming up for Fantom. I'm going to break down the technicals and what to expect and why I think January could generate quite a lot of attention for this layer 1 cryptocurrency. If you like these type of videos, smash a like, don't forget to subscribe. We're going to get straight into the charts here first, because as we can see, Fantom is sitting here in this range. It's sitting at 20 cents to start off this new year, and as you can see, it's been working itself over the last couple of 4-hourly candles to the top of this range. Now if you look at this range is pretty much defined by about 19 cents all the way up to 20 cents here, and we've just been hugely sideways here since the 16th of December. So you can almost call the last 2 weeks of 2022 a complete write-off of Fantom. It just decided to sit at this level. Now if we zoom out here on the 4-hourlies, you can see that we've got two critical levels very obvious here on the chart. And the first level is the base here, and the base is around that 16 cents mark. Now why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting for a few reasons, and the first one I want to share with you is this 16 cents mark here is not even the low for Fantom. If I zoom up here to the daily, you will see that in the summer of 2021, Fantom bottomed out at 15 cents. And yet throughout the 2022 horrible cycle, when many coins were well below their summer 2021 lows, Fantom didn't fall below that 16 cents level. So it showed some real relative strength. I know it doesn't feel like it when you look at how much it's fallen from all-time high, but every coin has taken that. So you've got to leave that to the side. What you then want to look at is what is the relative strength? And you can see that Fantom has shown that good, strong relative strength. So when we look at this pattern, we've got that key level here to the bottom side at around that 16 cent mark. But then you've got a top level resistance sitting here at the 24 cents horizontal support and resistance line as well. So the question we're going to have is, are we going to have a catalyst which can start sending us up above 24 cents? Or are we going to continue the pain down to the bottom side? Now, of course, the general direction will depend on the direction that Bitcoin decides to head in. And here's what's really, really interesting, just to give you an idea. Remember, I always say when you're looking for an altcoin, look for altcoins which are moving strongly and with purpose on days that Bitcoin does well. So you can see today, Bitcoin is modestly up 0.74% at the time of recording this video. It's just moved itself up to 16,700. But let's take a look at altcoins. You can see Ethereum is moving 1.4%, makes complete sense. You can see Binance Coin is moving 1.2%, but you've got Fantom up 2.8%, close to 3% up on the day today. You've got Cosmos up to Atom up 5%, Near Protocol up 3%, and you've got Solana up 11%. So a lot of people starting to buy the dip on Solana. If you want to know if I'm going to be doing that, go watch my video here where I link up if I'm going to be buying the dip on Solana, because I've made my opinions clear on Solana, and you're definitely going to want to check that out. So on Fantom, we've got that. We've got that nice impulse move today. We're moving 2.8% on a day. Bitcoin's moving 0.7%, and that should give you confidence that there is energy and momentum behind this altcoin. I'd be very concerned if one of my altcoins were in the red today when pretty much every other altcoin is moving. So things like Coty down today slightly, a little bit of a concern. If that continues, I'd have to look into that deeply. ApeCoin down 1.4%. Serum, of course, down 20%. So you want to look down the list and see what is in the red today, because that could be a little bit of a concern, okay? So that's one for us to keep an eye on. So we need to watch what is going to be the catalyst for this breakout. And obviously that's going to depend on macroeconomics, and it's also going to depend on, therefore, where Bitcoin heads. But there is one catalyst, and that catalyst is in January. On the 25th to 27th of January, Fantom are partnering up to do a conference, Quantum Miami. Now, at this conference, which is 25th to 27th of January, it's presented by Tomb. You can see here, Fantom here, Quantum FinTech Group as well. It's in 13 days, guys. So if you click on over here to speakers, you're going to see that there are some impressive speakers on the panel here. Andre Cronje, which obviously we've covered off a lot on this channel. Michael Kong, who we've had the pleasure of interviewing here on the channel. You've got Harry Ye from Tomb Finance as well. A bunch of decent people here going over to speak. You've got BitBoy going over as well to speak. Now, this is where I need to share some insights with you. So a lot of you guys are new. And if you were with me throughout last year, and 2021, you will know that when there are events, there is often hype, there is often momentum. But we need to be careful of one thing. There is a phenomenon called buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, for those of you who experience, you can be like, why are you treading over old ground? But I've got to cover this off. Remember, the new crypto investors born every single day. And what often happens is on the lead up to these types of events, you get a lot of hype, a lot of notoriety, a lot of attention, and the traders bid up the price, right? They start buying in, they get into their long positions, and they wait for this perfect moment at the top when the hype is normally during the event, right? If it's a 2-day event, normally on the second day of the event, just when you think there's going to be some exciting announcements or things going on, and that is where they look to dump the price. So be very, very careful if you're trading just for the event, okay? I would not personally, unless you're very experienced, be trading for that event, or unless you're using some lunch money and you're playing around with a bit of a trade, absolutely fine. But if you're buying heavy amounts of this project just because of this event, stay away from that. Very, very important. There's another element to this because it's not just about trading the event. And in fact, Andre Cronje even tweeted out that he's not going to make any major announcements. This is just going to be steady technical updates, which is beautiful. This is exactly what I want, because why I care about these events is for the long term. I want more people to hear about the projects that I'm invested in, right? If they can hear about it, then they can get interested in it, and then that could build the ecosystem. So for Fantom, this is a great opportunity for them to reach out to more people from the Solana ecosystem, right? From the previous Terra Luna ecosystem, from other layer 1 ecosystems, say, hey, we're up. We managed to navigate through a bear market this far, right? We're doing well. We've got great transactions per second, great throughput, great tech, working on our Fantom virtual machine. We're doing so many cool things. Why don't you check us out? Are we an option? So this is the purpose around doing a good conference. This is definitely a positive catalyst and hopefully can set Fantom off on the right foot. These are the types of things I like to see from a marketing perspective, okay guys? Remember when I was talking about Algorand? Again, I'll link that video up here where I said I'm a bit concerned. I may have to start thinking about selling Algorand in 2023 if they cannot sort out their marketing. These are the kind of things. Generate a little bit of attention. Make sure people can understand what you're building. Fundamentally, what's the point of building an iPhone 20 and yet nobody knows about the technology in that iPhone? You've got to be able to tell people what technology you've built, and you've got to be able to articulate it, not in a technical manner, but in a manner that the masses can understand, so they can understand that, okay, this is a platform I want to build on, this is the platform I want to build a DApp on, or this is a platform I want to invest in, or this is one I want to keep on my watch list. So it's really good to see that they've got this event going on in Miami. We'll look forward to seeing how that progresses in the price. But again, just a reminder for you, yes, you can see pumps leading up to these events. If you're trading on a short term, be very, very careful. But for the long term, it's great. It's a good start to 2023 and can hopefully give them some positive momentum to kick off the year. And again, we've already got that positive momentum, right? We're moving 2.8% here on the day. That's a good sign here for Fantom. Okay, so now with that said, let's take a look at a few interesting indicators. We always start off with our EMA ribbon. Here on the daily chart, we want to be very, very careful. Today's pump has brought us right up to our EMA ribbon. And again, like I said, we've been sideways for a very long time here. In fact, if you go back, this whole trend has been sideways. So even dating back to October, this is sideways momentum here for Fantom. So you broke to the upside, broke back down, spent some time here, went back up, spent some time there, came back down. This is sideways movement. It's not able to generate a trend in either direction. So be very, very careful here to see, do we just get rejected from this EMA ribbon? So this is going to be serious resistance between 20 cents all the way up to 21 cents here on the daily chart, okay? Now, if I bring that off, and I also show you the Bollinger Band, you will see what I mean. We're also running into the middle of the Bollinger Band. Remember, the middle of this Bollinger Band, the red line, can act as minor resistance, okay? Not as strong as the yellow lines at the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but definitely in the middle. Sometimes you can see a bounce off of here and push back down to the bottom, which will be around that 18, 19 cent mark. Okay, now if you don't understand what this means, if you don't know what these Bollinger Bands and EMA ribbons mean, ijaz.uk/TA, free course. I'm going to leave it in the description of every video. When you get time, in fact, just make time, go and watch that course. You will not regret it. It's definitely going to set you up for 2023, and it doesn't take long. It's not this long, drawn-out course. You're going to learn all the pertinent bits, because I cut to the chase and just go straight to what it is that I've learned over 10 years. So definitely go check that out. So this is a concern here. We're running into the middle of the Bollinger Band. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get rejected from here. If you look at previous trends, you are able to break all the way to the top of your Bollinger Band, but you need a big impulsive move to do that. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, and Bitcoin will need to have a good couple of days in order for us to push all the way to the top of our Bollinger Band, which is that 22 cents mark. Now, if we pull that out, I also want to bring out the VPVR, okay? And you can see the reason I'm showing you this is this level, which we've been at here for since 16th of December, over the last 2 weeks here, is not a coincidence. There's a reason we're channeling here to the sideways line, and that is because this is where the volume is. This is where the resistance is sitting, but it's also going to be key support for us. So it's important that we're able to break this channel and get above, in my mind, this kind of 20, 21 cent mark and work our way into these levels here, because the volume becomes much better and in our our favor and we can have more of an impulse move up to this level where further resistance will come, okay, in that range of 23 all the way up to 26 cents. So I want to push us up above there, and even then just retest 21 cents for support on the backside. Come back down, retest it, and then work your way higher. What I don't want to see is us get rejected from here. If we get rejected from our EMA ribbon and start getting downward pressure from here, remember, we could be sending this all the way down to those 17, 16 cent marks again, depending on the trend that Bitcoin wants to take. So that's what I'm seeing here on the Fantom chart. Also wanted to share with you the weekly time frame, because it's always important to look at the weekly time frame as well. And again, just bring out that EMA ribbon and just remind ourselves of where we're at here on this trend. And you can see we are hugely extended. Now, the only positive thing for Fantom is this was a huge, horrible downward trend, multiple powerful weeks to the downside. And then from about June time, it did manage to create some stability. If you look at what we're seeing here, big move to the downside and then rightward movement, right? Moving to the right into the EMA ribbon, that's good. But what we haven't managed to have is any impulse move to the upside. We haven't been able to touch our weekly EMA ribbon ever since our demise and fall when the wider market started to fall. Now, this is not an indictment on Fantom. This doesn't mean Fantom's done anything specifically wrong. It's just the wider market. And this is the difficult thing for new crypto traders during a bear market. When they see red, they automatically think it's something wrong with their project. And that's the bit you've got to be able to decipher. I made a video on New Year's Eve explaining exactly what just happened in the wider markets. This is a global decline, right? We've seen huge falls in bonds, in stock, in major tech companies, let alone Bitcoin, let alone therefore your altcoin. So it's important to put it into perspective and say, okay, which altcoins am I sat in? Has anything fundamentally changed with them? Like, let's say, for example, Solana or obviously Terra Luna when it collapsed. Or is it just me being emotional and nothing has actually changed? And in fact, some of these projects have gone on to become far better projects than they were in 2022. So try to detach yourself from price, focus on what they're building. Have they garnered more attention? Have they built better tech? Have they got better dApps being built on it? Can you see improvements in what you initially invested in? If the answer to those is yes, then that could help you build your conviction in that project. And one more thing, it's been a while since we've taken a look at the Fibonacci extensions. What we want to do is you take the swing low, you move it up to the swing high here, which is about that $3.69 mark, which Fantom managed to achieve on the 25th of October back in 2021 when Bitcoin was heading towards 69,000. And what you want to see is that our golden ratio, which is your 0.618 to 0.65 mark. And again, if this doesn't make sense to you, if this is all gibberish, there's a chapter specifically on this in the free TA course, ijaz.uk/TA. This brings Fantom to, for me, what is a conservative price point of $2.34 to $2.45, which at today's price point, to me, illustrates a 12x ROI on your money. So it's just an absolute no-brainer for me at this point. And the only thing I need to be careful of with a project like Fantom is making sure I'm not over-allocated. This is a mistake a lot of people make. You could love a project, you can really believe in a project, but I never allow it to go over a certain percentage of my portfolio. It doesn't matter how much I like it. I just have a rule, and this, at the end of the day, is a smaller market cap, lower cap project. And therefore, for me, I cannot over-index on this. I cannot hold anything close to my Ethereum position or even my Cardano or a BNB position. It's got to be smaller. It's a smaller project. Now, if I take a look at the Fibonacci extensions, I mean, obviously, I'd feel confident that Fantom can get back to all-time highs at $3.69. But even more excitingly is then where is the golden extension? And that's 1.618 level. And that gives you a $5.86 mark here on your Fantom, which is a really, really impressive price point here. And again, I think it can completely eclipse this target as well. But just in a conservative estimate for me, what I expect them to be able to achieve going into the next move to the upside is some exciting figures, and for that reason it sits in my portfolio. So definitely look, there's going to be pain ahead for all altcoins. We know that, even for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And again, you do not want to be in any plays you do not have conviction in. So there you have it, guys. Fantom, critical January for them. They've got this huge conference. Can it create a lot of attention and help move some of this? I'm not necessarily focused on the price. Can it just move some of this attention so other people can see that Fantom is an option in terms of the layer 1 space and a great place for dApp developers to build exciting dApps? Thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.